You're standing at the park calling your dog's name for the third time. They're standing just a few feet away, they look directly at you, and then they turn away to sniff a tree. Or maybe you've just walked through the door after work to find a corner of the rug shredded. You start to scold them, and your dog looks away, licks their lips, or slinks into the other room. Most owners land on one of two common explanations. Either we believe the dog is being stubborn and deliberately challenging your control, or we think they know they were bad and are acting guilty to avoid consequences. Both of these answers are deeply rooted in human emotion, but modern behavioral science tells a completely different story. What you perceive as stubbornness is often actually a glitch in the dog's prediction system, and what you think is guilt is actually a biological response to the stress that you are unknowingly projecting. Today, we aren't talking about standard training tips. We are looking at data from the world's leading canine behavioral labs to understand why the things you do every day might be accidentally hurting the bond between you and your dog. Because this isn't poetry. This is data. The first and largest mistake we often make is believing dogs ignore us because they want to dominate us. However, research at the Clever Dog Lab in Vienna proved the opposite through a concept called the secure base effect. In this experiment, researchers gave dogs a food dispensing puzzle that was extremely difficult, nearly impossible to solve alone. They changed the single variable, the presence and state of the owner. When the owner was present and interacting positively, the dogs worked longer, were more persistent, and showed more confidence. But when the owner left the room or acted coldly, the dogs disengaged almost immediately. This reveals a vital truth. Your dog doesn't follow you or listen to you because they are weak. They do it because your presence makes them feel more capable of facing the world. So why do they sometimes ignore you at the park? Science calls this intelligent uncertainty management. If you give a command while you are distracted, anxious, or inconsistent, the dog's brain prioritizes self-protection or gathering environmental information over following your order. They aren't ignoring you to challenge you. They're trying to process a chaotic stream of data from a base that they feel is no longer secure or stable at that moment. This is the part that may completely change how you view punishment. A longitudinal study called Generation Pup, conducted by the Royal Veterinary College, tracked 145 dogs from the time of adoption and found a truth that surprised even veteran trainers. Many people believe that saying a very emotional goodbye causes separation anxiety. But the data shows that long farewells and big hugs at the door have no significant effect on whether a dog struggles when left alone. What actually matters is how you return home. If you come home, see a chewed-up chair leg, and react with anger, scolding, or even a punishing silence, you are directly damaging the dog's trust system. Science proves that dogs cannot connect your current anger to a destructive act they did 4 hours ago. In their nervous system, that chain of causation does not exist. Instead, they connect only one piece of data. Your arrival equals fear. The data showed that dogs whose owners scolded them upon returning were 6 times more likely to develop separation-related anxiety behaviors. The dog enters a terrible stress loop. They panic when you leave, and they panic even more when you return, because they don't know if their secure base today will be a protector or a punisher. When your dog looks away while you scold them, it isn't guilt. It is a desperate attempt to appease your aggression, which they do not understand. Why does a usually well-behaved dog suddenly stop listening on the days you're exhausted? The answer lies in the hormone levels in your blood. In 2019, scientists at Linköping University in Sweden measured the concentration of cortisol, the stress hormone, accumulated in the hair of 58 dog owner pairs over several months. The results showed that the dog's cortisol levels were perfectly synchronized with their owners. More shockingly, when analyzing the direction of this relationship, the data confirmed that it was the owner's cortisol predicting the dog's, not the other way around. This means your dog does not start their day at a neutral state.
If you are carrying a heavy burden of stress from work, your dog has already started from a deficit, a depletion in their ability to regulate their own emotions. When you ask your dog to obey while you are stressed, you are asking an already overloaded nervous system to perform a complex task. That blank stare or their failure to react is not stubbornness. It is a brain freezing due to the accumulation of stress hormones shared from you. We don't just share a living space, we're sharing an endocrine system.
Dogs have a magical ability that scientists call referential looking. In an experiment at the University of Milan, when dogs encountered a strange and scary object, a fan covered in green streamers, 83% of the dogs immediately turned to look at their owner's face for guidance. They don't just look, they actually adjust their behavior based on the emotional message they receive from your face. If you show a positive expression, they move forward. If you show a negative one, they move away. This is how your dog uses you as a live data stream to understand the world. The mistake we often make is sending mixed signals. We say, "It's okay," with a shaky voice, or we command them to come with a stiff body and eyes full of threat. When the information from your face and body does not match your words, your dog's nervous system prioritizes the visual signal, the threat, over the auditory signal, the command. Their ignoring the command is actually a self-preservation response to conflicting information. You have accidentally broken their most important tool for gathering information.
Why does all of this matter enough to hurt a dog so deeply? The answer is in their DNA. In 2017, researchers at Princeton identified structural variants in two genes on the dog's chromosome 6, GTF2I and GTF2RD1. These genes are associated with a syndrome in humans called Williams-Beuren, characterized by an extreme, almost compulsive urge to connect and seek approval from others. Dogs carry these variants, wolves do not. This means the urge to be near you and to listen to you isn't just a result of training. It is a core biological feature of being a dog. When we use punishment incorrectly or create an environment full of stress, we are creating a biological conflict right in their genetic code. The dog craves connection with you based on genetic instinct, but their nervous system warns that you are a source of pain or fear. This prolonged conflict leads to a terrifying psychological state called learned helplessness. In this state, the dog will stop trying, stop reacting, and become unusually passive. Many owners mistake this for a good and obedient dog, but in reality, it is a brain that has given up the belief that its actions can change its circumstances. Data from hair samples shows that these dogs sometimes have unexpectedly low cortisol levels, not because they are no longer stressed, but because their stress response system has been completely exhausted after running on overload for too long.
So, what is your dog actually trying to say when they ignore you? Perhaps they are saying, "My nervous system is overloaded," or "I cannot understand these conflicting signals from my owner," or simply, "I don't feel safe enough to do this right now." Instead of asking, "Why are they so stubborn?" try asking, "What data is my nervous system sending?" Your dog doesn't need a drill sergeant. They need a secure base. They need a consistent source of information so they can confidently navigate this complex world. The bond between you and your dog isn't built on perfect commands, but on the rhythmic synchronization of two nervous systems. Your dog isn't ignoring you because they lack love. They ignore you because, at that moment, the bond, woven with cortisol, oxytocin, and thousands of years of evolution, is experiencing an information disconnect. Be the one to repair that disconnect with consistency and calm, because that isn't poetry, that's data. If this video helped you change how you see your four-legged friend, please hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Have you ever noticed your dog ignoring you more on the days you feel stressed?
We'll see you in the next one, where we continue to decode the incredible hidden language of the bond.